Hey guys, welcome to Cribs VIP. Come on in. Hey guys, it's Sam with The Blind Life. Welcome back to the channel where I help you learn how to live your best blind life. So today we're going to take a tour around my house. I'll show you all the little things I've done that add up to make this house more accessible for me and to make my everyday life a little bit better and less frustrating. All right, the first area we're going to talk about is the living room here, where we spend a lot of our time watching television. Now, as you can see, the TV is probably what, about 15 feet or so from the couches. And even though it's a nice large, I think that's 55-inch television, it's still too far away for me to sit on the couches and watch TV. It's just not possible. As much as I would love to do that, it's just not possible. So I have a chair right next to the TV. So that's one of my recommendations. Number one, get a really large TV. That is going to help. Bigger is always better in the VI community, but get yourself a chair that you can set right next to the television. And a lot of people might go with a big old comfy chair, and that's fine. You can definitely do that. But we didn't want this giant obtrusive chair sitting right here. And when we have company over, because we do, under normal circumstances, we do like to have people come over to our house and visit. We didn't want them to be like, why is there a lazy boy sitting over here? And it's clear that the seating area is over here. So we found this little, very light feeling chair at I think it was like a consignment store or something like that. It seems to be an old vintage chair. I don't know if it's vintage. I don't know if it's old enough to be considered vintage, but it's an old chair. Got a little bit of style to it. One nice thing is it's super light, so I can move it around. So what I do is I'll keep it back there, off to the side, so it looks like this is just maybe some extra seating in the house. And then when I want to watch something, I'll slide my chair over. So this is the first tip. Definitely get a chair next to the television. Get up close so you can see it, you can enjoy it. Something else you can do, which I made a video about, I'll put a link to that video up here in the upper right corner, also in the description down below, is you can attach, or you can hook up an HDMI cable to your television through a splitter that will run all the way over here, and you can have a separate TV on the couch in the normal seating area, and you can sit back on the couch with everybody else in the family and you can watch your TV that is playing the exact same thing that is playing on the main television that everybody else is watching. One more thing in here, which is completely subjective and going to be different for everybody. Lighting. Nice, big, open, bright windows, letting a lot of light in here. Yes, it's super bright, and if I'm looking in that direction, it's very difficult to see if anybody's sitting on the couch. I'm going to have a hard time because they're very silhouetted against that bright background. But if I come over here and sit myself on the couch, look at all this beautiful light in this room. Look at the beautiful light in that room over there. I can have a nice conversation with someone sitting on that couch. So natural daylight, keep those curtains open. If you're someone like me that likes a lot of light, kind of going along with what I just said about the window over here, a lot of us are sensitive to light. And it may be contradictory to say that we like a lot of light, but we're still sensitive to light. So a bright light source can be very sensitive to my eyes, but the ambient light coming off that bright light source is good for me. It lights everything up around me. So this is what we did over here, and hopefully you guys will be able to see it. On this armoire over here, we have this, I've installed some lights up top. And they are controlled, where's the switch? Here's the switch. They're controlled by this switch on the wall. I can turn them off, turn them back on, and I don't see the actual light source, but it is casting a nice ambient glow over the rest of the room. And at nighttime, in the morning, before it's nice and bright outside. This is fantastic. We get a lot of nice light out here. We also have a lamp over here that is connected to a smart plug. And I have the lamp scheduled through the app on my phone to come on and go off at certain times of the day. So we don't even touch that light. We don't turn it on by the lamp itself or even a switch on the wall. It just comes on at certain times of the day, pre-programmed times that I know we're gonna be in this room and using this space. So early in the morning, prior to people leaving for work, when they get home in the afternoon, during the day, middle of the day right now, nobody's in this room, so I have it programmed to turn off so it's not just using electricity or, lighting the room for no reason. You can also control these two smart devices, like we have a Google Home hub here on the table. And I will talk about that in one of the other rooms. We don't have it connected to this one, particularly because I have it on that schedule. Okay, I think you guys probably recognize this room. This is my main computer room right now. I'm gonna be switching this to my studio upstairs in one of our guest bedrooms. But right now, this is my main computer room. This is where I do all my editing. This is where I record some of my videos. Everything is done through this computer here. This is the computer that I built in that one video where I built this with my son using the Patriot Viewpoint glasses. Link in the description. Also, just point out, it wouldn't be a YouTuber house if there wasn't a random tripod with cables hanging off of it, just standing around in a room for no reason. But I've talked about this setup many times, and you guys know all of this, I'm sure. Of course, we've got the giant 40-inch 4K Samsung TV as my computer monitor. Working on some new t-shirt designs for the Amazon shop. Stay tuned for that. We've got our large print, bring it out here, large print illuminated keyboard. Task lighting here, so if I need to see anything on my desk, I've got some nice task lighting that's adjustable. TV is on a monitor arm, which allows me to move it, let's come around this side, which allows me to adjust it closer to me, further away, so I'm not leaning over as much. I've got a pair of headphones hanging down here on a hook. Headphones, it drives my family a little crazy because when I have these they're noise canceling headphones, and when I'm wearing them, watching videos or editing or something like that, they can even be sitting in that room on the couch right there and yelling at me, and I cannot hear them. But at the same time, it is really hard for me to cancel out all the sounds of the world and focus on what I'm trying to listen to. But I totally get why my family drives them crazy. Okay, this room might look familiar as well. I've recorded many videos in my kitchen here, but there's some things to take note of in here, and I've made videos about all of these as well. The first one is one of my favorites, and it's a kind of a staple in the visually impaired community, and that is bump dots. Bump dots, maybe you can see them there. Bump dots on my microwave, bump dots on my stove, bump dots on my new dishwasher that we just got. In fact, I'll show you. This display here is totally flat. You can't, there's no indication of buttons or anything. So I put a bump dot at the top right over here of the power button and then the start button. I don't mess with any of the other controls. For most of what I'm washing, just the basic preset things, default I guess, is fine. So what I do is I find the bump dot over here, here it is, put my finger down, find the bump dot over here, there it is, put my finger down, listen for the beeps, and now when I close it, it starts washing. Also in the kitchen, which, sorry, it's a little cluttered over here, I really should have cleaned up, is my Keurig. I made a video about the Keurig and how I think it is super, just a great option for coffee drinkers. Rather than dealing with the old traditional drip style coffee makers, that it's like, how much water am I putting in? I don't know. So Keurig takes the guesswork out of all that. I am not a coffee connoisseur, one of these types that's gonna grind my own beans and roast my own beans and all of that, I'm happy with the Keurig. I think it's a great option for my needs. Next in the kitchen, we've got this guy over here. Oops, where are you? There you are. This is the Amazon Echo Show. You've seen me I've done a couple video reviews about this. I still have one more coming. But the great thing about having this in the kitchen is just all the functionality you can use just with your voice. Timers, recipes, alarms. And just a quick interjection here, I'm talking about the Amazon Echo Show, but of course this relates to any digital assistant, any of the Amazon Echoes, any of the Google Home hubs, etc. But then having it connected to smart devices in your home. So for example, I have installed under cabinet lighting all through here, and which I once again made a video about. Put that in the info card up to the right, as well as the description down below. But I installed that. It's just LED strip lighting. It works great. And I used a smart plug in the outlet that is in that upper cabinet up there. It's the outlet that the microwave is plugged into. So I used a smart plug in there and connected it to the lights, connected it to the Amazon so I can give the voice command to turn them on and off. So I say, Pascal, turn on cabinet lights. And there you go, they all turn on, and now we've got some great lighting down here to light up our little area. I'll show you the lights. You see, just ran the strip. It's adhesive backed, and we've got it on this side as well. Pascal, turn off cabinet lights. There you go. So as I walk around here, something else you guys will notice that's different than a lot of houses is there isn't a lot of clutter on the floors, right? We don't have shoes laying around. We've got a lot of open space, and that is all on purpose. I can't stand clutter, and it's because I will run into it. I will trip over it. I will kick it. It's just, that's not fun. So that would be a recommendation as well. Just pick up every now and then, declutter your life. You'll be much happier. Okay, while we're in this little area here, I want to talk about something that we got recently, and I love this little guy. He's right down here on the floor. Let's take a look. This is our robot vacuum. I think it's called Rocket Vac. I call him Rocky. We have him programmed to run 3 times a week. He runs about 4 o'clock in the morning, so everybody's asleep. We don't even realize. We just come down, empty out his little dust bin, and he's good to go. This is his little docking station. I guess it's a he, maybe it's a she, I don't know. But whenever it's time for him to run, he goes and he does his business all around the entire downstairs, and then he comes back and docks. This little guy has been fantastic ever since we got him. You could even say he's kind of a marriage saver, because I can't see when there's little dust balls and things floating around on the floor. The dog hair is accumulating in corners. I can't see any of that stuff. So as they say, out of sight, out of mind, if I can't see it, I don't think about it, and then I don't think, oh, I need to sweep. So we got that, and ever since then, the floors are just routinely gone over, and we don't have to worry about all that stuff anymore. Now, I will say, because it's round, of course, and because there are certain things on the floor here and there, like pet food containers and things like that, it doesn't get everything, especially in corners and all of that. But, you know, once a month, or maybe probably should be more than once a month, going around and taking care of those corners and those little spots, not a big deal. Definitely worth the money, and they're not that expensive anymore. Check them out. We got ours right around Black Friday, so we even got a better deal. I should also mention that I will try to link everything in my Amazon shop, all the stuff I talk about. A lot of it is already on there, but things like the robot vacuum, I'll go ahead and put a link in my shop for those as well. Link to the shop down below in the description box, or you can go to amazon.com/shop/theblindlife. Okay, something else I will show you guys here in the kitchen, which is going to be difficult to see right now, middle of the day, is these plug-in LED like night lights. These are super cheap on Amazon. The one I got is a pack of like 10 of these little guys. It's got a light sensor on and a circle of LEDs. It just plugs into the plug, which let's see if I can get it back in there. Oh, I got it. Good job. And I have these all around the kitchen here. And so at a certain time of night, when it's dark enough, they automatically turn on and just adds a lot of brightness in this kitchen when all the main lights are turned off. They're LEDs, super low power. I've got one over here as well. You can see it right there on the wall in this little area that leads out to the garage. And so this is a very dark area. Even during the day right now, it's dark. So at nighttime, that little guy is great, especially when we come home late at night and no one's home and the lights are off. Speaking of garages, I've got a bump dot on my garage door opener control here as well. I don't even know if you guys can see it, it's so dark out here, but this big button at the top is the garage door, but then there's a couple different buttons down here at the bottom, and I was never sure exactly which one turned the light on. So once I found out which one it was, I put a bump dot on it. Can you guys see that bump dot? I think you can. Well, if I actually pointed the camera, there it is. You can see that little red bump dot. I think it's red anyway. So now I can just reach over, feel that bump dot, and turn the light on. Turn the light off. Bump dots are the best. Here's another one of those lights. And I've got a light here in the hallway. Okay, going into the closet, I'm going to try and record this. It might be difficult, but we have a master closet back here that wraps, it's a walk-in, and it wraps down and goes around the corner. Every time I would go in there, obviously, I would turn on the light. Sometimes I'm just going to throw something in the hamper, and I don't want to deal with stopping, turning on the light, turning off the light. I want to be quick, in and out, speedy. So what I did was, let's see if it'll work. There he goes. I installed motion lights in the closet here so that as I walk in, they detect the motion and they light up, and it lights up the closet. And it's just enough that I can come in and I can do what I need to do, and they stay on for 2 minutes or something like that and go off, and just makes my life slightly more convenient. And something else to mention about those motion detecting lights in the closet, Amazon has a ton of them, all different shapes and sizes, battery powered, plug-in. It's a very common thing now. So think about your house. Think about areas that could be useful at. Underneath the cabinets, maybe the kitchen pantry. That's the next place I'm going to install some lights, in the kitchen pantry, so when I open the door, they automatically turn on. I've got that in my linen closet upstairs, which I'll show you in a second, but I definitely need some in the kitchen pantry. How about another popular one is underneath the bed. So when you wake up in the morning and it's dark, as soon as you put your feet down on the floor, it detects the motion and it turns on the lights under the bed. And it's not a strong light, it's just kind of a glow to the room. It's just enough to allow someone to move around and they won't be disturbing someone else. Something else I've seen is in the bathroom, underneath the cabinets, the lower cabinets, in that little toe kick area, they will install motion detecting lights for the exact same reason. You come in late at night to use the bathroom, as soon as you walk in, it turns on and there's just like a simple glow on the floor that will help you see where you're going. So there's tons of applications for motion detecting lights, and they're not expensive. Definitely check them out. I'll have some in the Amazon shop. And then we have the large print digital clock next to the bed. It's actually pretty large. You can see how large it is compared to my hand, but it's even still a little too small for me to see, especially if I wake up in the middle of the night. It's tough to make this out sometimes. And finally, we are here in the YouTube studio, but I'm going to save this for another video. This particular one is already running pretty long, And I think this might be better in its own standalone video, kind of a tour of the YouTube studio. So that about covers all the things in my house that I've done to make it a little bit more accessible for me. Of course, there are a ton of things that I would love to still do and might do in the future. If I do any new upgrades to the house, I will definitely let you guys know, of course, in a future video or maybe even a future house tour part 2 video. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. If you like the video, be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment letting me know what you think, or if there's anything you saw in this video that you might want to implement in your own house. Liking and commenting on the video is a great way to help out the channel. It helps boost the channel's performance on YouTube, and that is always appreciated. Of course, you can also become a member of the Blind Life YouTube channel. I'll have a link in the description down below. That's also a great way to support the channel. Then you can, of course, also check out the Blind Life merchandise. I'll have links to both the Amazon shop and the Teespring shop, where I have all types of cool low vision and blind merchandise available. And finally, we're gonna have the new Discord channel, the Blind Life Discord. I'll have a link for that also down below. Discord, it's just gonna be a place, kind of a chat room, see a couple of chat rooms where you can come and hang out with myself and others in the community and talk about whatever you'd like to. Get help with a problem, talk about new assistive technology, whatever. I'm gonna do my best to be on the Discord every week following the upload of my video. I'll be on for about an hour or so. So definitely drop in and say hi. I'd love to chat and meet everybody. So check that out, link down below. But that's it, guys. As always, this is Sam with The Blind Life. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.